Mountain Rwenzori, the third highest in Africa, is full of beauty. Located in western Uganda, this permanently snow-capped picturesque mountain also straddles to Democratic Republic of Congo. Besides the flora and fauna, different ethnic groups inhabit the mountain ranges both on the Ugandan and DRC sides. Mzee Yowasi Bukombe, a historian of the Rwenzori region and former prosecutor in the Toro Kingdom, gives us a sneak peek into the movement of the different dominant tribes in the region.
Bakonjo moved from here to the mountain, Bamba from mountain to Bundibujo. And the hills on the mountain, until today, the names of the hills on the mountain, they are the names of Bamba. That is shows the history of Bamba, Batoro, Bakonjo, Batoro, Bamba.
In this two-part series, we will look at how the people of Rwenzori region, which comprises several ethnic groups, have been living side by side, forging a peaceful coexistence for generations.
This region has very good stories, but also very unfortunate stories. It's a region which is ethnically plural, and here means there are different ethnic groups in the region. These ethnic groups have coexisted for a long time, but at the same time, ethnicity in the region has been used to exacerbate conflicts, all forms of conflict, be it political, social, even economic. So it is a region which has a double-edged story.
In the past, 1962, it was there between the Batoro and Bakonjo over simple issues of power sharing. But at this time, at least there is cordial relationship between the people of the mountains and the lower ones.
These groups included Bakonzo, Bawisi, Bamba, Basongora, Banyabindi, Bagabo, Batoro, Barondo, Banyampaka, Bachingwe, Batwa, Bachiga, and Batuku.
Historically, Bakonzo and Batoro and Bamba too really never shared common interests. Right from 1963, when they broke a war, a tribal war, which called Rwenzori. This Rwenzori, ever since erupted, it caused some tribal conflicts.
Bundibugyo, for your information, is one of the hospitable community that you can ever find in Uganda. And for that reason, we will find very many ethnic communities there, and they are transverse cultures, because we have all types of people in Bundibugyo.
Since the formation of the region in the early 20th century, there have been cases of inter-ethnic tensions. These tensions were escalated during the colonial rule, when the British wanted dominance of the people and also wanted to entrench its colonial, social, economical and political establishment. Therefore, by the end of the colonial rule, ethnic groups were more divided than ever before in the region.
Division has been brought by the Bakama. When Kasese has got the son of Mukirane, and Bundibujo has got a son of Kawamara, then Bakonjo. The Bakonjo who are in Bundibujo, and the Bamba who are in Bundibujo. The Bamba said, this is our country. Bundibujo is our country. And the Bakonjo who are on the mountain, they say, no, this is our district. At first it was a district of Bundibujo was for Bamba. A district of Kasese was for Bakonjo. That was created by Idi Amin.
We were under Toro Kingdom at the beginning, and then because there was low sharing of leadership, so the two communities, that's the Bamba and the Bakonjo, joined together and formed Rwenzori. And Rwenzori was requesting government to give us a separate district so that you can also claim identity, which claim is natural because it is God-given. And when we started Rwenzori, that is as early as 1960, then by the year 1974, during Idi Amin regime, we were given 2 districts, that's Bundibugyo and Kasese district. Then after that, we thought there was peace and we had been given what we wanted. But later on, there came up another cultural institution, which is of Singapore Rwenzori, which also decided to behave the way the Toro Kingdom behaved, and that's why Obudingabwawamba also started its own cultural institution, because we don't have the same culture. So this is a cultural institution where we really want to promote, defend, and safeguard our culture. That's why we started the cultural institution.
Ethnic diversity has been the source of tension rather than an asset in the Rwenzori region. Francis Tuhise, the executive director of Rwenzori Forum for Peace and Justice, says there have been several factors that have spurred interethnic conflicts.
There's no single factor which can be really advanced as the reason behind these conflicts. Different factors play different roles. Politics, struggle for economic resources, struggle for social and cultural control over other groups, okay, and of course contestations over the history of this region, and struggle for political survival within different social and political groupings in our region. So broadly speaking, we're looking at political factors, economic factors, social factors, and cultural factors.
Some people want to take land, to hijack it, and they really want to buy it using all forms of getting it. And that's why somehow, somewhere, people talk of tribal conflict. It's not actually tribal conflict, it is the conflict of land accessibility and land ownership.
Studies have shown that divergent political opinions, positions and interests struggle to have access to and control over resources are some of the factors that infuriate intra- and inter-ethnic tensions in the Rwenzori region.
There are areas where leaders incite people. Like in Kasese, some leaders have incited people to do certain evils. But here, for our case, in Bunyangabu, the people who have been on the lead of peace are the leaders. Not forgetting to mention the LC5 of Kabarole, Mr. Wabuhinga, the LC5 of Bunyangabu, Mr. Tegeka James. You will find that they have been struggling to ensure that people live peacefully, without any form of discrimination. Yes, but in other places, like Bundubujo, Kasese, those things have been hard. But here, in Kabarole, those things are not there.
What I know is that we had no ethnic minority groups and other tribes around as a conflict. But the challenge is that the leaders that we have actually are causing a commotion among the communities. But entire communities, they have no problem with their own tribesmen and the other tribes within Kasese district, except the leaders, they bring some differences so that they can man the leadership of the district.
I think I don't want to be unfair and just say in a very blanket manner, say leaders are responsible for the conflicts here. Because first of all, we know there are different categories of leaders. So when we talk about leaders, we're talking about political leaders, cultural leaders, even somebody heading a family is a leader. Okay, so we're all leaders in a way. I think I can say leadership plays a very key role in fostering peace, but also in causing conflict. So leadership has played a certain role in managing conflicts in the region, but also in some cases, leadership has played a role in exacerbating conflicts.
In August 2018, the Rwenzori Forum for Peace and Justice, RFPJ, financed by Democratic Governance Facility, DGF, carried out a study to document historical and contemporary inter-ethnic bonds in the region for purposes of using these bonds to foster inter-ethnic reconciliation.
This study was on establishing the inter-ethnic bonds, and here I mean areas of collaboration areas of unity within different ethnic groupings in our region. As I said before, this region is ethnically plural, meaning there are different ethnic groups existing in our region. Unfortunately, the history of this region is rich in terms of demonstrating how these different ethnic groups have lived in contestations and in conflict. But unfortunately, the history does not say much about how these different ethnic groups have collaborated.
The study revealed the existence of unbreakable inter-ethnic bonds that can be used to foster inter-ethnic reconciliation. The following bonds were established.
From this study, we've been able to discover a lot. For example, there are many incidents of intermarriage in our region here. Many incidents. Many Bakonzo, Batoro, Bamba, Bagwisi, Basongora, and Banyabindi are actually intermarried. And these intermarriages are a very strong bond. There are very prominent families here that have married from other ethnic groups. We have also come to appreciate from our study that actually the Batoro and Bakonzo have a very rich history of collaboration.
Building on existing interethnic bonds, the Rwenzori Forum for Peace and Justice has started implementing some of the factors that will promote peace building in the region.
RFPJ has been at the forefront of championing peace activities in the Rwenzori region. When you look at Ntoroko itself here, it has a network of peace actors which are always feeding them with information related to peace and conflict. But it has also carried a series of trainings and workshops related to conflict sensitivity, conflict mitigation, the ADR, alternative dispute resolutions. So in fact, we have to credit RFPJ for the good work done to promote peaceful coexistence in the Rwenzori region.
Bonfire, an age-old tradition, is one of the key pillars in forging unity among the different ethnicities here. They gather to share stories, ideas, and collaboration opportunities.
The campfire event is one of the platforms we have here, and also other informal settings. These informal settings reduce the social gap, and we have held several of these with the elders, with the youth, and even with the women. And we have found these spaces, these informal spaces, a very important space for us to discuss our issues as a region.
Rwenzori Forum for Peace and Justice have also actively participated in peace-building efforts, like organizing the International Day of Peace.
As Rwenzori Forum for Peace and Justice, we create and strengthen platforms that provide an opportunity for different groups of people in our region to discuss issues of peace, of human rights, and conflict management that are relevant to them. So the celebration of the International Day of Peace, done every September 21st, is such of the many platforms that we organize in the region.
With the majority of the population in the region being youth, opportunists have also turned to the youth to cause havoc and escalate conflict in the region. Now, the organization is empowering the youth who have been previously used to fuel conflict through trainings and livelihood support.
The organization brought us to Tumsime e-technical services. Now we are here studying, and now we are seeing right now we cannot even try to think that we can go back there.
For this program, we could go up the mountains digging, looking for money, and of which we can't get, but I see like now I can twist someone's head and I earn like 5,000, yeah? After getting 5,000, then I can buy something which will develop me.
You look at the perpetrators of these conflicts. In the first instance, they tend to target so much the youth because they think the youth is a group of people who are energetic, who have passion, but who can easily be driven to do something.
Coming up on the final part, we'll look at measures that can be used to bring about peace through inter-ethnic collaborations.